If you are a frequent listener to the podcast, you know that we have been sponsored by Fuji Sports for quite some time now. Whether you're looking for apparel, equipment, bags, or accessories, Fuji Sports has got it covered. Go to fujisports.com to see the latest selection of everything you need for your jiu-jitsu, judo, or MMA journey. That's fujisports.com. Let me take a minute to tell you about RŌL TV. If you're looking to take your jiu-jitsu to the next level and supplement your BJJ education, then RŌL TV has you covered. RŌLAcademy.tv has over 1,500 videos covering individual techniques, positions, and concepts, including seminars and workshops with top-level competitors and instructors like Chris Wojcik, Robert Drysdale, Aaron Hurley, Emily Kwok, and more. Whether you are a beginner or a more advanced student, RŌL TV is the online platform that can take your jiu-jitsu to the next level. What's up, everyone, and welcome back. If you haven't already, please hit the like, share, subscribe, download, listen, and whatever other button there is, and leave us a review wherever you listen. This helps us bring you the great guests and amazing content that you've come to expect. In this engaging conversation, Thomas's guest shares his journey through the world of jiu-jitsu, reflecting on his early days, the evolution of the sport, and the importance of confidence in training. He discusses his most memorable matches, the underdog mentality, and the significance of safety in training. He also delves into his philosophy on teaching, the impact of social media, and his aspirations for the future, including guiding his son in the sport. The conversation concludes with a lighthearted story about how he earned the nickname The Grill. Here's the RŌL Radio with a man who has a dozen instructionals on BJJ Fanatics, the one and only Bill The Grill Cooper.
Welcome to RŌL Radio.
And we are live. Bill the Grill Cooper. How are you, sir?
I am good, brother. How are you?
I'm great, man. It's been a minute, huh, since we talked.
It's been.
Do you remember the first time we met at Radzovics?
I don't. Was it? Oh, yes. It was downstairs.
In the basement, yeah.
In the basement. Do they still have that spot?
No. They have moved. They have moved a couple times since then.
That's right.
That was a long time ago. Huh?
That was long. That dude, I still to this day, that video we shot,
yeah.
People loved it. People still use it. They still listen to it. And so you could be beating me 10 points, 20, 100 points, 200. But if I make you do this, dude, they send me some clips and they still comment on that. It's like, man, that helped me so much, Bill. You don't even know. I'm like, cool, man. Like, I love hearing that.
That was a good time. Yeah,
that was.
I remember. I brought my son with me then.
Yes,
my oldest son, and you had a gold belt.
Yeah,
on, and he couldn't comprehend what's up with the gold belt.
Right.
For those who don't know, I mean, this was a long time ago, probably over 10 years ago, right? For those who don't know, why did you wear the gold belt? What's the story behind this?
The gold belt was from OTM. I heard Scotty Nelson had it for a tournament, and from OTM on the mat, that is. And he had a tournament, and Glover was hanging. I think, I'm pretty sure Glover was living with either not Scott. It was Kate Nelson, the younger brother, I believe, or the oldest one. I'm not sure, but they had a tournament and involved with the gold belt. You won a gold belt, so I think Glover won it. I'm not sure, or they just had it in the room. And when I would go visit Glover, I'd see that thing. And at the time too, I was just starting to fight, so I was a little cockier, I guess. And I said, this is my belt. I'm going to take this. So I just took it. And they never said nothing. They didn't say no. They didn't say yes. So it was just silence. So I just took it. I just took the belt, and I was rocking it. And it started fading away because I started wearing it more. The paint started coming off because obviously it was, sprayed. But it looked good. It looked nice. And it had a Moya gi at the time, and it had some gold uh, stitch on it. And it just matched perfectly. I noticed it matched perfectly on my Moya gi. I had it was a white Moya gi with the Mexican flag and American flag on the sides, and had like a nice special custom patch, and my grill on it and gold stitch. So it just worked perfect. It just matched.
You
You
were all
remember I
about
had the you
you
remember
were
I
all
had the
about
Moya
style,
gi in
huh?
the gym.
Say again?
You remember I had the Moya gi in the
Oh
gym.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember. I
yeah,
remember.
yeah. It's all about style, brother. You got to make it look easy when it's even hard. That's what Joel
Fake
Tudor told me.
fake it until you make it, right?
Make it till you make it, make it.
Yeah, that's right. So how you been since then? I mean, how you been? How is life? I mean, your kids are bigger now. You're a father. You're a family man,
Yep.
and I feel like you disappeared a little bit from the social media aspect, but it doesn't mean you're not doing stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. I did a podcast about a month and a half ago. I do podcasts, or I get on social media. I post a lot on Instagram.
Mhm.
I do my, people follow me on my Instagram, Bill the Grill Cooper. I post a lot of videos on stories. I do about once every 2 days. I'll post a video of just me rolling or doing an instructional or advertising my BJJ Fanatics instructionals as well, and of course seminars, private lessons. But
Do you find yourself as one of the pioneers of the newer generation of jiu-jitsu? I feel like when I was starting, you, Jeff, were very present, very. There was the new wave of the guys, and
right,
today, time has passed by. We all aged, we all
hmm
kind of, the fleshiness is not as bright and all the other stuff, but like, do you find yourself as you shaped the newer generation of what jiu-jitsu is today?
oh, absolutely, yeah. I see the new guys coming up. They're really tough. I got a couple kids that are in their early 20s, and it's cool. Like their dad's the one that told they grew up watching me, and they tell them to watch some videos. Back in the day, we barely had YouTube, barely had internet, and luckily the tapes, because it was all recorded, so a lot of my matches were on tape, and then they got transferred to digital. So it's cool that the people still got some old clips of me as a purple belt compete. That's when I really started getting, more famous, more popular with my jujitsu. When I was about a purple belt, because I was competing against black belts, and I was young. I was 15, 16 years old. Purple belt, going around the world, traveling Japan and Brazil, and you name it. Yeah, just getting out there as much as I can, doing every tournament. I don't care if it was small, big. I just wanted to compete, and it was cool because I got to travel and meet new people.
That was the interesting part about you. I feel like that there was almost this, and you said this a moment ago, like almost this cockiness around it. But I think in a positive way. Like I feel
Yeah,
like you
it's
you never
confidence.
cared who was in front of you. You just wanted a challenge.
Yeah, it wasn't cockiness, it's just confidence. Just more
Confidence.
confident. It can
I
come
like
out.
that.
I can see how it can come off that way a little bit, but no, it's just confidence. I had more confidence in myself and traveling.
Where did this come from? I mean, like I'm thinking, not a lot of purple belts would say, "Hey, listen, I'll take the challenge." He might be 2 ranks above me. He might have 10 or 20 more years on the mat, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna take the challenge. Like I'm the underdog, but still, I don't care. Like where did that come from?
I want to say Frangia, my sensei, my master. Man, he helped me a lot. He had a cool little swag to him, and still to this day, he's traveling still and helping fighters like Tabitha Ritchie. Just recently, this weekend, won, and in Abu Dhabi, and in the UFC, and he's traveling. So that was cool to see and still see. But yeah, Frangia, I owe it a lot to Frangia, man. He helped me a lot. He pushed me hard. Training. and pushed me to do tournaments and travel and hit sponsors up. His funny thing, I got Tap Out sponsor back in the day, and he's like, man, go ask him. And I really remember I was kind of intimidated to ask Mask, and Punk and the guy, the crew of Tap Out, and I was like, all right, here I go. I'm gonna go ask. He's like, man, what's the worst they could say is no. The worst that can happen, Bill, is they say no. I'm like, all right. So he gave me confidence in not just physical but mental. I knew physically I could have a match. I'm really, he trained me well, and then he helped me with sponsorship, like coming up to people and talking to them, and that gave me more confidence. Because I remember one line. The worst thing they could say is no, and then we spark a good conversation, and they get to know me.
You think that kind of shaped the path for you, for your career, for your life? Taking the risks?
I do. Yep. I do. Absolutely.
Is that one of the reasons why you've had most of your matches have ended in submissions, right? Like I remember, I don't know exactly your record, but I remember that you were, the pivot point was that you subbed most of the guys. Like there was not many victories by points, right?
Yep. Yeah, that was my thing. I didn't like winning by points. I loved the submission. I always was searching for the submission every time. It was just more flashy, more exciting. Give props to my boy Jeff Glover. He liked flashy, like he said. I like flashy shit, and I'm like, yep, I do too. So we started doing, flying attacks right off the bat. That helped me a lot get through some matches through. Whew, all right, I'm gonna do a flying armbar, flying triangle, flying guillotine, or counter. I saw a lot of them were just counters too. When someone would shoot a single leg or a double leg or just tie up, and I would come off victory. I'd come off victorious with a flying submission. I'd hit around the bat. I'd hit a couple in a row. That surprised me.
So I think many would say that in some ways that's like coincidental luck, but you kept doing it over and over and over, right? I mean, do you feel like there was a component of luck in any of this, or there's a strategy associated with what you were doing?
No, it wasn't luck because I trained it. I trained flying attack, flying submissions, and I would have buddies help me with that. We had the crash mat too, but we have just regular man, just actually flying, jumping up in the air, and going over it. Even the pool had my buddy, rest in peace, Charlie. He helped me. He showed up to the pool and said, hey, let's do some flying attacks, because the pool is, you can jump and your landing is not, it's cushioning you have the water. Mm-hmm. So he'd show up and help me with my flying submissions, and we'd be flowing in the water, because you don't have to deal with gravity, and you're really defying gravity sometimes when you're rolling jiu-jitsu on the floor. Don't get me wrong, you have the floor, but then sometimes the floor don't exist. When you're rolling, you're hard, and you're rolling hard with somebody, and I don't know, it kind of just feels like you're defying gravity for a second. It just feels like there's no floor. It's just you and your opponent, nothing in the way, not even the tables, the people around you, there's like nobody's in the way.
Do you remember one specific event that you were able to turn all the chaos off around you? I think that's one of the reasons why people are scared of competing. It is not necessarily what happens between you and I as we compete, but what will other people think or say, the people who are watching us, right? It's like, and I feel like you had this ability to turn everything off. It was just, let's have fun, let's flow, let's, even what you're saying, let's redefine the gravity, let's do things that nobody has ever done, let's take risks. How do you have one specific event that you kind of made everything disappear and you had fun?
Absolutely. I got to give it out to Brian Simmons' Grappler's Quest. I did a lot of those. That I was able to be a kid, being a kid, but roll with adults too. I was rolling adult divisions when I was in a teen. And that, I got to say, was one of the greatest times and highlights of my life, was competing at Grappler's Quest, which they just made a comeback Brandon the Truth Vera, I believe, are partners, and they started one. I want to say in Guam. I'm not sure, but I think they're making a comeback. It's a great event. It's gi and no gi. Yeah, it's been around shoots 2001. I want to say around 2000 they started. It's already been 25 years. They were down, I want to say 2018, 19. I want to say their last tournament was, and then they just got back last year, 2024. They made a comeback. So they used to be every month or every. I remember they have two tournaments at the same time, like one in California, one in New Jersey.
Yeah, I feel like they were one of the first big events that really kind of start surfacing on the jiu-jitsu in the jiu-jitsu arena, right?
Yep, and they had
Who's
UFC
Number
fighters.
One and Flo and all the other ones, came along.
Yep, they had MMA fighters in there, UFC fighters, of course. Same thing, MMA. But yeah, they had wrestlers. It was cool. It was really cool to have everyone just combine and shut them, put them all in one big old basketball arena. You'd rent out like a basketball room, rent a high school out.
One of the ones that I remember actually watching, it just came to my mind as you were talking about it, when you fought Cyborg, right?
Oh yeah, I fought him 4 times. People don't know that. First time was in Vegas. Second time, I want to say it was in California or New Jersey. Actually, it was New Jersey at a hockey arena. The third and fourth time was in San Diego, and I want to say San Diego. Good morning,
Man,
Nancy.
there was a big weight difference between you guys, wasn't it?
It was a big weight difference.
You were a light guy, right? I mean, how much did you weigh at that time? What was it, 130, 140?
Yeah, I was 140. I was $140. Wet. Yeah.
So, like,
$140.
what's going through your mind through these things? So, like, one, there is a age difference. 2, there is experience difference. 3, there is a rank difference.
Right.
But then you're introducing a physical component like weight. I mean,
yes.
Like in some ways, many people would say you're crazy. You nuts. Like, why are you doing this stuff? Like, why can't you pick on people your own size? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I did. I loved competing because in the gym, I was always the little guy, right? So I would always be rolling with bigger guys. So I was like, I'm going to do it in my competition. Why not? I would win my weight class, and then after your weight class, it would be the absolute. So I was like, why not? Let's give it a shot. And
do you ever feel like you were underdog during these situations?
Absolutely underdog. Yeah, the little guy is always the underdog.
Did you enjoy the underdog factor?
I did. Absolutely. That motivated me a lot more.
Why?
I don't know, it's like a movie, like David and Goliath, Everyone, the general public is always going to know, oh, the big guy's going to smash the little guy. And then, when you see the little guy come up on top, it's cool. It's flashy. It's flashy. It's inspiring, too.
Did you ever have a particular match where you were the underdog and you lost, and it felt like this shouldn't happen? Like, I cannot let this happen again.
Yes, absolutely. But it's funny. I did lose, but I didn't lose fashionably. I won. I won the match that I lost a lot of times because I had more submission attempts. And I just lose by 2 points or something, for example, like a takedown. But I had all these cool submission, a flying attempt. I did like a flying triangle, almost got it, almost made the guy tap, and I get out and almost get his back, almost choke. I would get these very close submissions, but I'd get outscored. I would never pay attention. I started slowly focusing on position before the submission, of course. I would first now, I'd say around purple brown belt, I'd start gathering the points first and then go fall back on the submission. That helped me out a lot.
So that was a point of maturity, getting
Yep.
smart about this?
No, I wouldn't say maturity, just playing the system.
Playing the system.
You know, now there's a tournament where it's submission only. I wish that was around when I was, which it was. Grapplers Quest did have a submission tournament. I'm sorry. They did have a rule. They did change the rules in certain events where it was submission only. And there was a time, and then after that, it would just be discretion by referees or judges. Or it would be a draw. I remember if no one submitted each other within 30 minutes, I think you had 30-minute matches. I remember one who was just submission only, and it could have gone. Some matches were 45 minutes, 2 hours. It took, and then they had to put a time limit. They had to put some kind of rule. And
What was the longest match you've had?
Longest match I've had was Jeff Monson in Oregon.
Oh, jeez, I remember that guy.
Yeah, 28
What was
minutes.
that, ADCC?
Yeah, no, that was some regional tournament OTM had. It was Best of the West, I want to say. Best of the West. Must have been a purple belt. And it was with Jeff the Snowman Monson. Man,
Was he as big as he was at the end of it?
Oh yeah, he was huge. He was
Guys, if you guys don't know who we're talking about, look it up. Like, just look it up. Jeff, man. I mean, he was humongous. I mean, a monster.
Monster. That dude, Jeff the Snowman Monson. Holy shit. He fought in the UFC a couple times too. That's cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Walk me through that match. Walk me through that match. You walking out, you see him.
Oh man, yeah. Dude, he was a beast. He was tapping everybody out too. It's like north-south chokes.
Oh yeah.
Just squeezing the face, like people have their chin tucked in. He was like just Dan Severn, UFC 5, just crushing their mouth inside. Like he was a beast, dude. He was just choking out everybody. Big shoulders, all tatted up. I was like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna kill me. And then we have a match. Man, I almost get him. He had a couple of submission attempts on me. I didn't tap to that shit though. I remember one time he was he had my back for a second. He was squeezing so hard. It felt like my teeth were gonna cave in, So I just angled my grill because my lip was covering my teeth, and then so I remember raising my chin up, like I wanted him to go against my teeth correctly instead of front of the teeth. And I remember I just went up, and my mouth got open, and he just didn't care. He just kept squeezing. But it was okay because it was the right angle, It's like a bite. Your teeth are very strong when it's correctly applied, when you apply pressure correctly on your teeth. And I remember he was squeezing, I don't want to say 10, 20, 15, 20 seconds, just, then he gave up. And I remember, okay, he gave up, and I could feel the release, and I got out. And as I'm getting out, I see a purple bruised bite, almost like a bite mark of my grill imprinted in his forearm. I'm like, holy shit. And I couldn't stop thinking about that during the whole match, too. I'm like rolling. I'm like, man, I can't believe this guy didn't stop. Like, it was bleeding, too. It was just, my grill was on his just forearm.
Punctured the skin, huh?
Punctured the skin. Didn't care. Kept squeezing. Oh, man. Yeah. I've had 4 matches with him, and he had my number every time. I've gotten close.
I feel like you pissed off a lot of guys all along the way, like in a positive way. Like here's the grill coming again.
Yeah. I've had some good. Damn, man. Yeah, Cyborg, Snowman Monson, Vinny Maglehage, Lucas Ledge.
Vinny.
Like, yeah, man. Dude, I've had some great matches. Thanks to Grapplers Quest and on the mat for having their Best of the West. I remember a a few Best of the West tournaments, and that was cool. It
I'll
was
put you.
always
I'll put you on a spot.
no-gi tournaments.
I'll
What's that?
put you on a spot. I'll put you on a spot. What was the best match that you've done? I mean, think about it for a second if you need to, but like in any capacity. You tell me.
You
like
mean
the
like
one that
my
is the most memorable?
Oh, okay. Most memorable. Man, there's so many.
Hey, can you move the camera a little bit away from you? Like, just push it a little bit away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Which one is the most memorable? Like if I say the best match, Bill Cooper, go. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The Cyborg one, Lucas Lech. Lucas Lech matches I've had were real fun.
He was more a little bit of your size. I mean, he was a lightweight guy, right? So it's like he was 160, I think, right?
Yep, 160. We're middleweights, lightweight, middleweight. Man. Yeah, those are the ones that I had fun. Those were the fun ones. Competing in San Diego Grapplers Quest, that was cool. Meeting them, the Worlds, Mundials was good matches. I don't know. It's funny. Like the ones I won and the ones I lost. It's not always the ones you win. It's the ones. It's the ones that they remember.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You've been on the mat for a long time. How many years? What year did this all start? Do you remember?
2002. I want to say 2001, 2002.
Okay.
So I was 13. I'm 38 now, and I started when I was 13 years old. And 3 months passed by. I turned 14. So
it's been a minute, huh?
Been a minute. Yeah. See.
What did it get you to start jiu-jitsu? Like, do you remember the very, very beginning of it? Like, what initiated you stepping onto the mat? 2001. Jiu-jitsu is not big back then. I mean, it's starting, but it's really not big.
Yeah, just watching Frangio roll. Glover was skateboard. I'm sorry, I was skateboarding at a school, and Glover was going around recruiting too, telling people about jiu-jitsu. There's a cool local cat down the street that lived down the street from me, and we lived across the street from Harding School. And at the time, the schools that had access, you can go to the school and skateboard and bike around, and it was neat. He told me about it. I showed up, and yeah, I finally looked at it for the first time.
Did you know Jeff? Did you know Jeff prior to that, or?
Yeah, yep, I did. I knew he was, he was one of the homies around the neighborhood. He'd ride his bike around the schools. He had a BMX bike. It was cool. It was an orange Schwinn. It was his brother's bike. His brother's bear, but he'd always use it. And yeah, I find that's funny. He'd let me borrow it a couple of times. That was cool. But going back to how I first started was him telling me about it, and it was cool. It's like the first time, I thought I did wrestling. I still do watch pro wrestling. WWF at the time it was called. Now it's WWE, and it was WCW, ECW. I was watching those, and I was very inspired by wrestling. And then I saw jiu-jitsu for the first time, and I loved it. Just the workout itself, the warm-up was cool. So the warm-ups was intense. And then we did technique, and then we rolled, and then we get like a little after workout, a little pump, and then we clean the mats, and then we go home. It was like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour days sometimes.
All good times.
All good times.
Things are a little different today, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Yeah. I still like to, I still do that, and I love it when the students stay and helps me clean. They don't have to, but I do get I love the camaraderie. You know, the people stay. I love it when you don't rush it out too. There's times where I have to because I'm busy, or I can have someone take over. That'd be cool, like to clean up. Or because some people like to stick around. Some of them don't got kids, man, and they don't have to be home at a certain time.
Yeah.
Um,
You and
or
Jeff became good friends over the years, right? I mean, like really close. And
oh
I
yeah, we're
feel
still
like,
close. We still talk.
yeah, I feel like, but even that really translated into your jiu-jitsu styles. Like I feel like it was almost like Jeff and Bill in a sense of what you were expecting to see. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
Is it him?
It,
Was it him motivating you, or you motivating him in a sense?
it was both. We inspired each other. We inspired each other. It was cool to see him because he was a little smaller than me at the time, but he was still a little badass, still a badass. But man, he would submit me all the time, and it just it would get me frustrated. But it was a humble experience. I couldn't believe that a guy like his size could be able to tap me out.
What was so frustrating about it?
Just having the smaller guy beat the bigger guy, or the medium size. I was what, he was $140. I was maybe almost hitting $150. I knew I had some physical strength, but he had the strong legs and flexible, and he was a little shorter, a little stockier. We had different body builds, different body types, and different strengths. And yeah, I just always, of course, look at the height difference. It was always height difference that made it, that stood out with me. And yeah, I think, yeah, I want to say, going back, we inspired each other. We climbed. I climbed really fast. Finally caught up to him, and then we just used each other to build. We just built. We're just stacking each other and hyping up each other. We went to our tournaments together, and we helped coach each other and push each other, and we know each other's game, so that helped a lot.
When you say you caught up with him, what does that mean? Was there one specific day or one specific event when you were like, oh, finally, like I got this?
Yeah, like I started sweeping, start sweeping him and taking his back and maybe catching him. I was catching him. He was catching me too. We were catching each other. But there's times where there's maybe a couple years where no one was catching me at the gym. I was catching everybody. I was like, okay, I got something.
I'm onto something now.
I'm onto something. I'm doing something right. I'm sweeping, taking everyone down, passing everyone's guard, submitting them. Didn't care what belt it was.
There was a lot of those fun training sessions, weren't they?
Oh yeah,
showing up to the gym, staying there for hours, and just rolling.
Sometimes the spotlight's at the gym. Sometimes you have your best matches in the gym. You're like, damn, I wish this was a match somewhere. You're rolling good. You're feeling good. You got a good warm up. Got a good workout.
Why is it that, Bill, tell me this. Why is it that very often we perform at the gym better than we perform on the stage? And I think this happens to many students out there.
Oh yeah.
It's like you have the best training camp in the world. Like you freaking rocking it. And then you step in the spotlight and just doesn't stick. Like you've done this a million times and it just freaking doesn't stick.
Yeah, man, that's true. Even with jiu-jitsu and MMA and fighting and any competition, I think you got to mimic. That's why I say compete often, because those when you compete, that's when you're going to get your role. That's when I remember competing, and it just felt like a training, just like at the gym. I was just like another training camp at the gym. I don't want to say camp because I'm always training. It's no camps, but yeah, going back, it's that's why I say compete often. I remember being at tournaments And some were 2-day events, by the way. Some were all day, of course. Most are. And I remember going through matches. I'd had 4 divisions. And I was like, man, this feels just like another day at the gym. It felt good. I liked it. I remember doing teens division. It was no-gi. It was weight class, teens. And then teens had an open. And then adult weight class, adult open. And then the gi, they're like, dude, I remember seeing eight divisions in one day. Yeah, I competed. I remember.
And then hold on. Let's frame this. Hold on. Eight division. Each division. How many matches?
So each
on
division,
average,
at least 3 in each division.
So
Adults,
20 plus 5. Matches in
one day,
in one event.
In one event. Yeah.
Do you strategically plan for all of this, or you just don't care? I mean, do you do you think about all of this?
I mean, I did carry extra, extra gear. I would take extra gear with me and a lunch, a little snack. That's all I knew. And plus, too, when you're in the mode, you don't eat. It's hard. It was hard for me to eat. I can only drink, my water or my Gatorade at the time.
Let me ask you this. Were you able to do so many matches in one day because, and I'm actually serious about this, because jiu-jitsu wasn't as popular and the diversity of skill was quite large, meaning I'm not saying that you had it easy, but it was less, the gap was much bigger. So you could really manipulate this versus today. It's much harder to do this because the skill gap is so small, and you really have to mentally and physically outwork these guys.
Yeah, I was in great shape. The conditioning was Franchia was real known for conditioning. He would have a long ass warm up and long technique, drilling, he'd make us fucking drill 20 minutes plus, and then we do positional rolling, and then the chair in the top was letting us free roll, let us just roll, and then we roll for 45 plus minutes. We did 5-10 minute rounds, and yeah, I was just in great shape, for my competitions. I've always made sure you be in shape. You always want to be in shape.
Do you feel like people today could roll 20 different matches in one event?
No. Now people just want to go just drill the technique. They just want to go over the technique, which, because most people don't want to do the warm-ups. They get turned down. I get it. They don't want to do the basics, just warming up, doing body movements. I love, don't get me wrong, I love warming up, doing partner drills, partner workouts. That was cool. That was always a plus. Frenchie always mix it up. We do, obviously the front rolls, the back rolls, the shrimping, the butt scooting, the push of the sprawls. And then you get to work out with a partner, and then you do some partner drills, and then you go over a technique, and then you go positional training, and then you roll, and then you do a little workout that's more muscle building, more body building, your push-up, your pull-ups, your basics, and then you call it a day. Stretch out, clean the mats, and go home.
Do you feel like that's what separated you from everybody else?
Yep, absolutely. I felt
but
it.
That's stupid simple.
Yeah, I mean, we try to make it easy. I notice, that's what technology does, right? We try to make things easier in life. For example, right now, we're talking on a phone, and we used to, you would have to show up to the podcast, and we'd barely have the phones, and we'd have to schedule or write a letter. So everything's just, in moderation, right? Everything's trying to make it easier, and that's what I think we kind of we had a plateau because we just stick to what worked, and then we try to find this, shortcut, and now we just do partner training, and drilling. And yes and no, man, it works. It works. I think everyone's different. But in general, I think, like you'll see all the greats, man, they do warm ups. You see Khabib, like they're doing somersaults. Just your basic dynamics, like gymnastics. I think a lot of it's gymnastics. You're pretty much doing gymnastics, and then you're rolling, and then you get to do your roll. It's like you're already warmed up too. You got your second wind. You're in condition. You're in shape. Your body's and ligaments are warm. You're not cold. You're less likely to get prone to get injured. I think that's the thing. You try to avoid injury. And I'm really big on safety. I show people how to tap, how to properly tap, and what positions to be careful, what submissions to be careful with, and to respect the submission, and careful getting certain positions, falling back, posting your arms and your legs out, watch your knees and elbows and your neck. Careful how you roll with your partner, pulling them back over their ankles, doing the front roll, the old famous front roll if someone got injured their neck, paralyzed. Now you got to watch this shit. You got to watch it and how you crank on things, how you twist the chin like neck cranks and can openers, twisters, heel hooks, all that. You got to be careful.
So,
How a
so why?
simple rear naked choke could be nice and gentle, but if you turn it off to the side, now you're on the trachea.
Yeah.
People have hurt their trachea and like they had to quit jujitsu because it was life threatening. They injured their voice box. And
But let me ask you this. I mean, what you're talking about is common sense. Like, and
not
granted,
really.
both of
It's not common. I mean, it's common sense for be safe, but they don't. A
no,
lot of
but
schools
that's
don't
kind of
teach
what
that.
I'm asking. Is like, I mean, you and I, we've been on the mat for 20 plus years. Like, so like
Mm-hmm.
for us, this is normal. But like, if you like communicating this as an instructor is not hard. Like, guys, you need your training partners. Take care of your training partners. Your responsibility so they don't get hurt. But then
Yep.
you step into some rooms and it's like balls into the wall, skulls into the ground, and like, let's
Yep.
just fuck each other up. Like,
Yeah.
why would we do that?
I know. I always say, don't break the toys you play with.
That's a
And
good one. I've
mhm,
never heard that before.
yeah, I always say that. And I notice the energy in the room. I'll be coaching somebody, and I notice the energy. If I just coach that one person, they turn it up, and the other one might feel discouraged. So I'm like, hey, I'll mention both their names, and I'll say, nice, both of you guys are doing great. Keep it up. And I'll coach one for like about 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then I'll coach the other one. Get this up, get the neck, underhook, and then I'll mention their name because I noticed the names. If you mention the name and then tell them what to do, it makes a lot of sense and it just clicks a lot faster for people. I learned that on my years as being a teacher, how to teach better, how to be more direct, how to take in information a lot better to the student, to teacher, to student. It's saying their name first and then addressing the situation. That would always help me so much, even with me. So why not? If it works with me, I'm most likely going to work with them.
Why is
And
saying the name so important? Why
because they
like, I've
think
noticed a lot of people will hey champ, hey this, hey
yeah,
buddy, but there's something unique about saying hey Bill.
right. It's
What is
the
it?
first thing the first thing it's I don't know, maybe it's instinctual because your parents, they say your name and then they'll tell you what to do. Like William. Like when I get in trouble, my parents would call me William. William, what did I say? And I would, yeah,
That
okay.
sound that I feel like there's a story behind this.
Yeah, it's more there's always a story. There's always a story. But it was more direct. And because if someone's just yelling, coaching out, just yelling, they don't know who you're yelling at. So they're just going to rub it off. And then you say their name, it catches their attention. And then they have your full attention. Well, about half attention because they are rolling. They can't pay full attention to you. Some look. I tell them it's funny when they're looking at me while they're rolling. I'm like, don't look at me, just listen to me, and so they can stay focused on their opponent. So I've seen some people like look and they get caught. They get swept. That happened with Momar. I remember seeing Marcelo Garcia and Ben Arsdale. Was it Ben Arsdale? No. Van Arsdale. I think it was Van Arsdale in Abu Dhabi. I could see the guy looks up because his coach was saying something. And he looks up at the coach. He's like, "What?" And then he gets arm dragged, gets his bag taken, and choked out because he got distracted. I remember him looking. He was like, "What?" And then Marcelo Garcia at 2003. I think it was 2003, Abu Dhabi, in Brazil, and boom, just
Over.
done quick. Oh my god. Okay, so that stuck to me. So I was telling myself to tell students, make sure, and for myself, to never look at the coach unless you have a position that comfortably you can comfortably look. I've done that. I was in like close guard. I knew I was no threat, so I'd like look at Fringio and like, what? I'd be like, okay, I nod. All right.
You never had a chance to go against Marcel, did you?
No, I was in the same. I did have a chance. It was, what was it, 2000? I want to say 12 or 10, or see 9, 10. We're in Mundials, is the Worlds, is Long Beach University. I had Marcelo in my division, Lucas Lech, Humphreys. Who else was in the division? Oh, was it? Yeah, Andre Galvão was in. Dude, we were all in the finals. We're very getting close to catching up. The Drysdale was in there. Hodger Gracie, Andre Galvão, and I was like, and I told myself, "Fuck, what am I doing here?" Like,
I mean,
y'all know my name too. Like, what's up, Bill? What's up, Bill? I'm like, oh fuck, this is crazy. I'm in the pit. We're in the pit, warming up, getting ready to go compete in the semifinals and the finals. We made it to the finals, and yeah.
You feel pressure?
A lot. Oh yeah, not too much. I'm like, wow, this is where I need to be. This is my place.
Every name that you mentioned
Mm-hmm.
just now, like that's top of the list.
Oh yeah,
that time, and some of them even today, right? So like
Rafael
pioneers.
Lobato Jr., Hodger Gracie.
Yeah. He's still competing.
Competing. Still
like
bad.
Do you see yourself as one of them? Are you one of the top, or do you still see yourself as underdog?
I was at the top, yeah, but now there's things evolve. These kids are coming up, man. These kids are really good these days. So I like to say I'm just paved the way a little bit, and, I'm competing. That's why I like to do super matches now. I don't like to do the big, brackets no more. I mean, I recently did one. I did the Abu Dhabi trials. That was fun. In Vegas.
What is it, Bill? What is about competing that you enjoy so much? I mean, like you look at your, just a stacked list of your entire career. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like not many guys do this. Like maybe a handful have done what you have done, from the amount to the success to like even talking to you right now. It is almost mind blowing. Like this dude is nuts. Like he still likes doing this. He's like, he's not a young spring chicken. But you still do it. Like you love it.
Because it'd be boring if life's boring if you don't. It's to do the same thing over and over. You don't get to compete. Now. I mean, there's a lot of tournaments now, but just doing the same thing over and over. At the gym, and you want to be the gym champ. You don't want to be the gym champion all the time. Some people would take pride in that shit. That's ridiculous. But I'm like, all right, go compete. Go against someone that you never rolled with before. Go challenge yourself. Go compete with people you never rolled with. Go in a different environment. Go to someone else's hometown, a different house. Even going to different gyms, you still get that. You get that feeling. And that was fun. I enjoyed challenging myself.
Do you think there will be there will be a time when you're just gonna pause and retire in a sense?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure. But not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. And there's now it's cool. Now there's Master Worlds, Master 1 and 2. I haven't done that. Yeah, I want to compete in the Masters. Yeah, I remember Sanji was winning Masters and winning the regular Worlds. Like he was competing in 2 different events. Like,
Yeah.
so don't get me wrong, fucking Master 1 and 2, like it's still whoop ass.
Yeah.
And win.
I mean, look at Levata Jr. He just did the wrestling tournament and he does well. I mean, he's a monster.
He's a monster. Yes. Man, that was cool to watch him as I come up. Remember watching the OTM videos and Lovato. It was like on VHS, man, and the DVDs. I remember Mark Lehman was recording. Like Mark Lehman was like one of the first guys to put things on VHS, and then of course DVDs came out, and that was cool to watch. You know, these up and comers. You would never know these guys because the internet wasn't around.
Mm-hmm.
It was websites. Websites were around. The web was around, but YouTube wasn't. I should say YouTube. You know the most popular sites, downloads, wasn't around.
What do you think is the biggest difference between jiu-jitsu today and jiu-jitsu what you are describing way back, early 2000s? Like you are purple, brown, maybe black even, that's fine. But like what's the big differences between now and then? As far as training, as far as competition? Like what's the biggest things that people don't see today?
Well, there's so much out there now. There's so much information.
Is that a good thing?
Could be good or bad. You know, it just depends how you take it. Too much information is just, it's like gathering, it's like trying all these new moves and you don't get to grasp it. You know, I think too much information is not good because then you can't focus on that one thing, you know. It's like, what did that Bruce Lee line say? Fear the man that knows one kick, and then fear the man that knows 1,000 kicks. You know, so because he's just repetitive, like he's perfected that one technique, and then after you perfect it, you drill it so many times, you're on to the next one, and on to the next one. You have time to perfect it, and then instead of being thrown all these techniques, and you can't even grasp it, you can't even do them, any of them. You know,
do you feel like kids today are completely distracted with the shiny objects?
Yes, I do. I find myself distracted with all these techniques. I'm always looking for different techniques, you know. I luckily I've drilled a lot of them, but I'm just now trying to find sequences like where I can get these 2 cool ones and combine them, you know. I always like to show 2 techniques in class. 3 is like pushing it, you know. If it's advanced class, I'll do 3. But I always like to cut even. I've done with just to show 1 technique and that's it. Most common though, I'll show 2 techniques and we drill the shit out of them, and then I'll let them position roll out of that, and then we start rolling, you know, free roll, and then I'm all right. Try to find that technique during your rolls, or I'll say, well, try to do any techniques that you've been shown here or seen on YouTube. You know,
well, so let me ask you this: many young guys who are listening to this right now, they're gonna say, "Well, 2 techniques is not enough. I need more. I need 3, 4, 5 things. You know, whatever." Like,
Right.
what's your answer to that? Like, how come you're focusing on only 1 or 2? I mean, is that enough?
Yes, because you gotta fine tune it. You know, you gotta polish that. You gotta make it. You got to perfect it. You got to, because you can't just drill it once or twice. You got to see how other things can get in the way and complicate it. You know, you show a technique, say for a Darce, for example, and you all right, shoot the arm through. But what if the partner is now different sizes? You know, he's got bigger shoulders. He's not getting the underhook on you so deep, or he's a shallow half underhook, or you know, maybe his body's not as turned in all the way. What if he's flat and getting an underhook on you? You know what I mean? Or what if he has got no neck? Or what if he's got a skinny neck? So how are you going to adjust? You got to do all these fine little tunings in the technique. I think that's what people are missing now. It's like fine tune it, drill the shit out of it. And so it's muscle memory, because a lot of it's muscle memory, right? And that's one thing I think people are missing in the drill. They're just do it a couple times and they sit down and they wait. Like, okay, what's next? I'm like, we got to drill this. This is what you want to get better at. This is what you pay me for, right? Okay, then do this 1,000 times. Right now, you've only done 30, and they don't have to see the results because they just drilled it 30 times maybe, and that's it. And now they get frustrated because they can't hit it in the gym either, especially at the damn tournament.
Do you feel like that's one of the contributors why people quit jiu-jitsu? Is that frustration point? Is like, it does require to drill over and over and over. Like there's no secret behind this. I don't think it's ever been a secret. Like you got to show up and you got to train.
It's like trying to reinvent the wheel, dude. The wheel works. It's perfect. Just leave it alone. Yeah. So nothing's broken. Nothing's wrong with it. It's fine. Yeah. It's in generations and generations, right? We all know it works. It's just people are trying to reinvent the wheel again, I guess. And it just like, come on, man. It's been proven that this style works. Drilling, and drilling, and drilling. The same move over and over and over again. Where it becomes, like I said, muscle memory. You just do it naturally. You just, I don't know. I just do it. Like, yeah. I wonder why you just do it. Oh, because you fucking drilled it so many damn times. Your coach would get pissed. Fringy would get mad. Man, Fringy's got a lot nicer, by the way, how he coaches. That son of a bitch, dude. He'd whoop your ass. He'd come around with a belt. Like, if you're slacking off, you're trying to do this other technique that you saw, you're some other flashy shit. And he's just doing, like, I remember doing that. We do like an over and under pass, which I've drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled for days and years. And I'm like, I would catch him, like, in the corner, coaching like a new guy. And I'm like, oh, wait, check this out. This is like, we can do it like this. It's still different. And then I'd be so focused in it. And within a minute, he'd come around the back. I didn't see him. I'd get so distracted, and he'd have his belt just right on my back. It was like, oh, like what? Like, fuck, it was like traumatizing. A lot of good times on the mat.
It's been a fun ride. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, it's still riding, man. I'm still competing. I want to do an Arte Suave. Cool guy. Just started it about I want to say 5 years ago. So it's under 10 years. We want to do a super fight with them. Hurt my neck, so I had to pull out on that one. But my son competed. That was cool. He had his little walkout music. They do the walkout music, the entrance, and they do the couch seating. VIP. I like that. I like that a lot. And so I want to do more of those. And the fight to wins. I love fight to wins. Those are cool. You get a little entrance. The whole music entrance and on the stage. I really like that. And then they have the belts too. It's one fight, one super match. Those are cool events. I like competing at those. Those are neat. And they're live too. So they or you can, I think they're pay-per-view. Some are pay-per-view. Some you can download the app, and I think it's Flow Grappling. That's real popular.
Yeah. Flow covers a lot of that, so that's accessible to everybody. Yeah. Look, it's like we've been at this for almost an hour now, but like we can't finish this conversation without telling the most important story of that's right. And I already know that I've heard that story, but there's so many that do not know that story. And it's actually what you would think that the grill means. It's all interesting. So I'll let you tell the story, but why build the grill, Cooper?
Well, it sounds cool. It's, that's one thing. Build the grill, we had Billy Goat, we had Wild Bill, we had all these nicknames for me, Bill Gracie.
Bill Gracie, is that one? Oh, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, because I've competed against a couple of Gracies. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 or 4 Gracies. I think I competed against 4 Gracies. I think Halleck, Crone, Huron, and another one in Grappler's Quest. Yeah, so I think I competed against 4 different Gracies, 4 or 5 Gracies. Crone was the only one that beat me, really. controversial, of course, but yeah, you can it's on YouTube now, so you guys can do the judging yourself. But yeah, he beat me and some other Gracie. Oh, was at the World? That's right. I think it's Hedon or not Hedon. I'm sorry, it's his son. Is the son of Hedon's the one that owns IBJJF son. I competed against. But anyways,
I'm looking here. You also got Gregor in
Gregor, yeah, that's right.
2006.
Gregor Gracie, yes, Gregor Gracie, that's right. Dude, he was pissed. The referee
So
too.
why the grill? Where did that come from?
Oh yeah, so it was it. You haven't. I got to thank Glover for that one. Glover. So I was in the kitchen, and at the time we were like watching some like shit. We were like, I don't know, playing GTA. You know, we're playing some video games at his house, and he had his family would always have like a birthday or something. There'd be like cake, and he'd always like it with a bowl of milk. And I remember he's like, man, son, you gotta try this shit. It's just bomb like this. I'm like, all right, let's see this. So he had like put a cake in the bowl, pour milk in it, and then the cake would absorb the milk. And I took a big bite. He's like, just a little bite, dude. And I didn't listen. Like I was a little punk. And then I took a big ass bite. He's like, oh, he's like, what the fuck, dude? And he palmed me. And then it hit my grill. He's like, oh, he's like, fuck, and like it made him bleed on his palm. And, and I got mad, dude. And he's like, fuck your grill, dude. And yeah, and it palmed the grill, like it palmed his hand, and it made a little imprint. And he's like, yeah, your grill. Well, that's right, build a grill, dude. You better watch out. So yeah, I chased him around the house trying to get him, but he was fast. And that's
what's funny about this is this has nothing to do with jiu-jitsu.
Nothing at all. And I was trying to get and it's funny, I'm in the kitchen because we're trying to think of nicknames. And because Stone Cold Steve Austin was you guys got to do it right here, huh? You guys are funny. Yeah, part of that right now, kitchen. Exactly. Right. All right. Can I have a little lower voice? That'd be nice. A whisper. Okay, fine. Sorry, I didn't mean the way I act. I can't say nothing nicely. Jesus. That's my sister, Crystal. She lives in the back guest house. Our family luckily bought a house in Santa Barbara, California, back in the 60s, and sadly passed away, but left us a house. Now we're just running it. Now it's a big old family house, and we get on each other's nerves sometimes.
That's what families do.
Families do. Oh my goodness. Anyways, but yeah, going back to the grill, that's how I got my nickname. Is Bill the Grill Cooper. They call me. Yeah, it was during the kitchen event with Jeff Glover. But the funny part was, Stone Cold Steve Austin got his nickname. He was trying to find nicknames or his name. And his wife made a coffee and put it on the coffee table and said, you better drink that before you get Stone Cold. So he even had an interview about that. He had an interview of him, how he got the nickname. They asked him, how'd you get your nickname? And it was in the kitchen. And so I was like hanging out in the kitchen. I was like writing names down. And that's when he's like, hey, son, come try this. So I was already in the kitchen, and so I did. I tried the cake. And I took too big of a bite, and he palmed me, and he didn't like that, man. So that was the funny part.
And it stuck around for decades now.
It did. It sure did.
Yeah, those are the best. Those are the best memories, aren't they?
Yes, they are. It's still stuck around, still to this day. I'm sticking to it.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So look, what's next for you? Like, what are you thinking next 5-10 years? Like, you teach. Mm-hmm. You are a leader, family man and all that. You're still training, you're still grinding, you're still pushing.
Yep.
We briefly talked about you retiring at some point, but like, what's next 5 years for you? Not yet.
maybe 5 years. I could see myself stopping in 5 years. I mean, I'll be 43, 44. I've seen champions, still winning, still competing. And then around 45, I noticed people are, putting the gloves up for fighting, which I think I should do, for safety, keep my brain cells and focus on my son. He's the next and up and comer now. So I want to focus more on him and help him, guide him, and coach him through the weights,
Well, good for you.
He's 17. He's got a bright future. He loves competing, loves teaching. Yeah, I want to see myself have more gyms, open up more gyms out there, and hopefully go international someday. But right now, just focusing on these two. I have my own gym over here in Goleta called Underground Training Facility, and I teach at Paragon, where I got my black belt in with Fringia. So I teach 2 classes there, and I teach mainly Monday through Thursday at my other gym.
Good for you. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like life is good for you.
So far, so good. Can't complain.
It's great. It's great to hear that. It's great to hear that. Look, if anybody wants to connect with you as a follow-up to this conversation, to this story, I mean, you are a huge leader, huge motivator, especially in the competition area. Where can people find you? I know you're on Instagram. Any other ways? I mean, just offload everything right here.
Yeah. Build a Grow Cooper's best way is obviously Instagram. And I do have my website. You can hit a little bio there, btgjujitsu.com. I'll have uploads there too. But also, you can download my instructionals, BJJ Fanatics. I got over 10 instructionals, gi and no-gi to choose from, of course. But mainly just through the Instagram. I mainly just deal with Instagram right now. And Facebook, of course. Facebook, Instagram. I do have a TikTok. I'm pushing that slowly, I'm trying
TikTok
to.
is the
I like
place.
I like it when it's all formatted, and all these new social media networks.
Is that difficult for you?
No,
social media stuff.
No, it takes a lot of my time out of the day. You'll be amazed. You'll be on the computer and your phone for 2 hours. And you're like, oh darn, we're not really built to sit, for too long like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that part.
Yeah, I like moving. I like running. I like rolling. I like teaching. I like to be more hands-on. I like to be more personal, one-on-one.
Phenomenal. Look, thanks for hanging out with me today. This is such a great conversation. I know we tried this once before. It didn't work out. I'm so glad that we made it happen this time.
Yep.
It was so good catching up with you. I'm glad life is doing good. And again, look, before we finish, let me ask you this last final question. Have you ever thought about what would happen if Jeff Glover never pulled you in when you were 14 or 15? Like, he never mentioned jiu-jitsu. You never got interested in it. Have you ever thought of what your life would look like?
Yeah, I'd probably still be skateboarding, maybe. I'd be a professional skateboarder or BMXer, because I was BMXing and skateboarding. I'd do something physical. I've always enjoyed the physical aspect of life. I've always liked I think the competition was cool. But yeah, I was skateboarding at the time, so maybe I would be a skateboarder. I surf, I skateboard, I BMX, snowboard. Most likely something with a board, because I get bored.
I like that. That. Look, Bill, thanks for hanging out with me. What a great conversation. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. And as always, I'll be here. I'll be hanging out, and I'll be just watching as you do amazing things. Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thanks. Hey, thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to RŌL Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.